How volcanoes are created. Deep beneath the Earth's surface in the mantle, many rocks exist in liquid form on account of the extreme heat and pressure. This melted rock, called magma, sometimes heads toward the surface when there are cracks in the crust. These cracks tend to be located in places where the tectonic plates comprising the crust meet one another. In some instances, the magma ascends into the crust and remains there in large pools, but on other occasions, the magma reaches the surface and erupts. The place where the lava, as magma is known when it is on the surface, emerges from, often in a violent manner, is a volcano. While there are numerous volcanoes around the Earth, the majority exist along fault lines. The infamous Ring of Fire, which covers much of the eastern part of Asia along the Pacific coast and the western part of North and South America, again along the Pacific coast, has the most active volcanoes in the world. The Silurian Period. The Silurian Period began roughly 443 million years ago and concluded approximately 416 million years ago. It is one of the most notable periods in the Earth's history for the primary fact that the first evidence of life existing on land has been dated to it. Fossils of land creatures from the Silurian period include those of fungi, arachnids, and centipedes, and there is also evidence that vascular plants developed then. While it is possible there were both plants and animals on land in prior periods, such as the Ordovician, that has not been proven by the fossil record. Another notable aspect of this period was that fish evolved to a great extent during it. For instance, the first known freshwater fish as well as the first fish with jaws come from this time. Finally, the first coral reefs have been dated to the Silurian period. This is most likely due to the tremendous changes the Earth underwent then, particularly the melting of enormous glacial formations, which caused the levels of the planet's seas to rise considerably. The author's description of the Silurian period mentions all of the following except B. The circulation of water in the ocean's water in the Earth's ocean is in a constant state of flux as it moves in both the horizontal and vertical planes. In the horizontal plane, water mostly circulates because of the wind acting on the ocean's surface in what is called wind-driven circulation. As for the vertical plane, water circulates on account of fluctuations in the salinity and temperature of the ocean itself in what is known as thermohaline circulation. This kind of circulation typically makes water move more slowly than wind-driven circulation. Wind-driven circulation, as its name indicates, results from the action of the wind on the water's surface. It is possible for this circulation to affect the water at a tremendous depth underneath the surface. Nevertheless, the greatest effect the wind has on water circulation lies in the 200 meters closest to the surface. Interestingly, the surface of the water moves at a rate of only 2 to 3% of the wind's speed. The water also does not move directly as the wind blows, but it instead moves at an angle diagonal to the wind's direction because of the Coriolis force caused by the Earth's rotation. The upper layer of the ocean, where the wind and Coriolis force act in concert, is named the Ekman layer after the scientist who discovered it. Thermohaline circulation is much slower than wind-driven circulation. Changes in the ocean's salinity and temperature, which both affect the density of the water, are the primary causes. As water becomes more or less dense, its buoyancy changes. Less buoyant water sinks whereas more buoyant water rises. When ocean water cools, it becomes denser, and when the water in the ocean evaporates, the remaining water becomes saltier and therefore denser. Dense water is less buoyant, so it sinks toward the bottom. While that water is sinking, equilibrium must be established, so less dense water rises toward the surface. This process establishes a loop of rising and falling water, which is the main cause of the thermohaline circulation pattern in the oceans. Flux, constant change.